Hi everyone, welcome back. This is week 28 of my social isolation get ready with me's. This week I did ask you guys what palette you want me to use because I bought one that I want to use, and it is the Too Faced Salted Caramel palette. They've come out with about, I think, 4 of these mini palettes for the holidays, I'm guessing, and a few of them are very same, but this one seemed somewhat interesting to me, so I picked it up. It hasn't been in a haul yet because it arrived after I filmed the last haul, which is kind of annoying, so you'll see this again in October. But this palette is fairly neutral, but it does have this sort of like peachy edge to it. I don't know how much I actually read salted caramel in this thing, aside from like this one shade, but I thought it looked nice. I'm really like a huge fan of these smaller palettes by Too Faced, so I wanted to give this one a shot today. Also, my cat scratched me the other day. Not on purpose, I just kind of grabbed him a little bit funny and he panicked and stuck his paw up and like gave me a good slash there, so that's what that mark is. Also, really funny what's going on with my hair here. You see this weird like bump divot thing? I've discovered that I'm getting that from wearing my headset while playing WoW all the time. Like this thing, this is my headset, the top part is hitting right there because my hair is usually pulled back and it's causing a bump in my hair. Like, jeez. So this is pretty much one of the only holiday items that I was relatively interested in. And I don't even know if this counts as like a holiday item because we all know that the makeup launches for Christmas season always seem to happen in September, October. But I snatched it up because it was the only one that was interesting. Too Faced holiday collections are yet again, like the bigger box stuff is yet again like this super regurgitated, like not only shades but packaging. I looked at it this year, I'm like, God, you guys aren't even trying anymore. So I'm sticking to the mini palette as my pickup for the year. I've spent so little at Sephora this year. I've never been a VIB Rouge, by the way, which is when you spend $1,000 at Sephora. But I've always regularly been a VIB, which is, I think, if you spend $350. I don't even know if I'm gonna hit that threshold this year. I think I've spent at most 200, maybe $150. Like, this has been a very frugal year in terms of makeup. By the way, this palette does have a smell. I'm not sure if I would call it salted caramel, but it's mostly just like, not quite vanilla, but like sweetish. It's nice though. Okay, so for today's look, I'm going to start with, I had to look at the shade name on the back, Soft and Chewy. And that's going directly through my crease. Oh, that's a nice color. I really like these miniature palettes, but I feel like the price tag's really getting up there for them. I believe this was 36 Canadian, which kind of surprised me at first. I remember when like a full 12 pan makeup palette was like $50, maybe even 45, like the original Urban Decay Naked palettes. Pretty sure they were in like the $45 range. Oh, my nail polish kind of matches this too, which is nice. This is the Holo Taco Rainbow, I've got it over here, part of their Rainbow Holo collection. The shade is called Orange Drink, and it's so hard to show the hollowness with a ring light up because it's mostly washing it out, but in sunlight this is unreal. This stuff is so freaking pretty. Yeah, you can't really tell at all. It just looks like a metallic nail polish, but when the sunlight hits it, it's just rainbow reflective but with like an orange base. It is so freaking pretty and it feels good too. Like there's no grittiness to it, which I was maybe kind of expecting because I thought the straight Holo polish would have a lot of glitter flecks in it, but this one doesn't. It's like completely chromatic. It's lovely. I don't know if chromatic's the right term, but it's really nice, and I'm really happy that I picked up that whole rainbow collection. Although I'm outside so little lately that it's very rare that I get the sun on my nails. Okay, for the next shade I'm going to be taking Caramel Apple over here, which it's got like glitter flecks in it, but there's no way that this is going to stay on the eye, I don't think. I'm just going to put it right through here. Yeah, I mean, they're adhering a little bit, but it's the kind of glitter that just sort of flakes away. It always looks pretty in the pan, but you know it's essentially useless as soon as it gets on your eyes. This is actually giving me pumpkin spice vibes, which makes me laugh because they launched a full palette that was called the Pumpkin Spice Palette, and yet I found that thing to be so not pumpkin-y. I'm getting more pumpkin spice out of this than the other palette. Jeez. Okay, for the lid, I'm gonna go in with Butter Me Up. Ooh. This one's a bit stiffer in the pan, but it's translating really nicely on the eye. Like, I don't think I would have to wet my brush because that's pretty foiled. These shadows are really nice. The mattes are super nice, easy to blend, not powdery, which is fine. It doesn't really matter to me either way, but some people care about that. But these are all just really going on nicely. And then to deepen up the outer corner, we're gonna take Make Me Melt here and just tap that right there. I don't really want to use too much of it because I don't think it really needs it. And for my brow bone highlight shade, I'm going in with Ooey Gooey. You know, I was a little bit skeptical about buying this because I was like, how unique are the colors? Like, they don't look that unique, but this is really beautiful. And I'm gonna add a wing with my Physicians Formula Eye Booster. Okay, moving on to the face. I'm gonna use the exact same thing that I did last week because it did look like a perfect match. That's the Inglot Beautifier Tinted Cream, and I have the shade 103. So one of the funnier things that's come out in the last week is that Kraft Dinner is putting out a pumpkin spice version of their macaroni and cheese, like Kraft Dinner. My friend Julie actually works on the marketing side of it, I'm pretty sure. The marketing side, the PR side. And she was saying that it's just going absolutely bonkers. Like, they're not actually selling it as like a full in-store kind of thing, but they're doing like a giveaway, and they've had like thousands upon thousands of people sign up for the alert for the giveaway, which is kind of funny. I'm not a huge fan of macaroni and cheese as is, and I don't think I've had Kraft Dinner since I was probably like 8 years old, tried it once and was like, never again, I don't like this stuff. But I'm curious about this pumpkin spice flavored macaroni and cheese Kraft Dinner. Like, that's gonna be pretty friggin' weird. So it's mostly being done as like a publicity stunt because, you know, everybody goes crazy for pumpkin spice during this time of the year. But it's funny just how many people have heard about it. One of my friends in WoW mentioned it to me, and I'm like, oh, my friend is working on that campaign. I still have not gotten a pumpkin spice latte yet at Starbucks. I usually only have like one a year just to, you know, to celebrate the season or whatever, because I can't drink that kind of stuff anymore. It's just way too sweet. But I like to have one, but because I'm not going out, I'm not going to Starbucks. I haven't had one yet, which is making me a little bit sad. Although I usually have to ask for like half the amount of pumps of that, whatever the pumpkin spice mix is, just to like cut down on how sugary it is. Not for health reasons, mind you. It's definitely not for that reason. It's just too sugary otherwise. Years ago, I could have drank one of those every day, but not anymore. Okay, for bronzer, I'm going in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Still working on this guy. I did repress this, by the way. That's why it looks so like crappy. And I'm back to using one of my smaller brushes that has one of my own hairs stuck in it. So, for anybody who plays World of Warcraft, you probably know that Shadowlands is coming out next month? Yeah, in about a month. And I've been playing Classic WoW, which is like a relaunch of the original game from 15 years ago, and that's where my heart is kind of thing. But lately I'm like, oh, you know, I'll dabble in retail or whatever, which is what the current version is called. And I've decided to level 2 characters to cap so I can try out Shadowlands with them. And I can't believe how fast the leveling speed is now. Like, with the 100 XP bonus and all that kind of stuff, it's like, you get a character from like, I don't know, 0 to 120 in like 2 days to play time maybe. I realize a lot of what I'm saying right now may not make much sense to some people, but I know that there's a few of you out there that do play World of Warcraft who know what I'm talking about. I recently joined one of my friends over on the Proudmoore server, which is a Pacific Coast server, which makes it a little bit not, you know, convenient times for me. But what I like about Proudmoore is that apparently it's like the LGBTQ plus server, because Proudmoore, Pride. A lot of people from that community just sort of gravitated towards that server, and they've apparently made this like really lovely community that's just like, you know, not homophobic, not transphobic. It's just more inclusive than most of the other online servers can be. Because, like, let's get real. There's a lot of toxicity in video games, and sometimes you can be talking to people and you just get like not great conversations happening. So it's nice to sort of be on a server that's more of a like-minded as me kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of neat. I saw people arguing in trade chat about, they weren't necessarily arguing, but they were all talking back and forth about how bad Trump was, and I was like, oh, I found my people kind of thing. As opposed to like, on other servers, you could get so much chatter about like, well, it's basically Americans like arguing about Democrats versus Republicans, and it's like, guys, just leave the politics out of the game if you're just gonna fight like this all the time. Anyway, so this server's been a bit of a breath of fresh air. But we'll see. I don't know how much I'm gonna stick with the next expansion, which is Shadowlands. Because frankly, I just can't devote that much time to raiding on 2 different teams. I think that would be a little bit problematic. I might be able to do it, but if the content doesn't interest me in Shadowlands, I probably won't continue with the raiding. But we'll see. We'll give it a shot. It's been a long time since I actually played a current expansion for a while, so I'm curious to see how that goes, but there's been a lot of changes in the game that I'm not that keen on, so we'll see. Okay, so for blush, I wanted to bring back out my Creme de Couture blush in the shade Cake. This is a liquid blush. It was sent to me, I guess about a month ago now, and the color is so freaking pretty. Had to find my brush. I'm just using the e.l.f. small stipple brush, which I find works really well with liquid products. Just gonna dot it a few times. I'll do one cheek first. Oh, it's just so pretty. It blends in so seamlessly too. This is that Canadian brand that does a lot of like custom makeup in their store in, I believe it's Alberta. So if you go in and you want a specific color of blush, they can just like create it for you on hand. And they do that with lipsticks, pretty sure with eyeshadows. Like, it's very like made to order, but they also have like a catalog of products that you can just order from as is, which is what this blush is. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm going to be using this Artist Couture loose powder. It's the Diamond Glow powder in the shade Yas. And I think this is very full. Yeah, it's a little bit messy. I'm going to start off with what's in the cap, which looks like nothing, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot on my face. I've never used any of the Artist Couture powders before. That's more subtle than I was expecting. I thought these things were supposed to be like beaming highlighters. Okay, I need a little bit more. This is absolutely not giving me the effect that I was expecting. Diamond Glow powder, like it's fine, but it's not much of anything. I keep trying to add more, expecting it to do something. I'm not loving that. I gotta say, it's fine, but it's not that impressive. Okay, that is face done. Let me zoom you back in, and we'll finish up the eyes. So I'm just gonna take Caramel Apple here, put my little Kleenex up, and then put that really close to my lash line. And then to blend that out, I'm taking Soft and Chewy. Ooh, that was too much, too much. Okay, tap it off and blend it out. There we go, that's better. Woo! Okay, so for the inner corner of the eye, I think the only lighter shade I've got in here is called Toffee. It's got a bit of a pink gold cast to it. I'm gonna put that on the inner corner of the eye. Oh, that works out. I thought it was gonna be a lot more pink because in the pan it looks like super pink, but it's mostly just giving me a gold glow. But oh, there you can kind of see the pink like up there. And then because I always like a really bright waterline color when I've got a look like this going on, I'm going to be using the Inglot Kohl Pencil in the shade 05. Okay, mascara, false lashes, and brows are on. Only thing remaining is lips. And I think what I'm going to use today is the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice Mini Melted Matte Lipstick from, was it last year? Might have been last year. Maybe it was the year before. They have relaunched this as a full-size version now in case you missed out, so you can pick it up. And I love the smell on this. It's not quite, ooh, got some on my nose. It's not quite perfect pumpkin spice, but it's pretty close. Yeah, that matches. Okay, so that is the finished look. Very pumpkin spice vibes as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I know it's called the Salted Caramel Palette, but this feels like the perfect sort of pumpkin spice look. I did really enjoy this palette. In general, I found the quality to be quite good on the mini palettes. And I mean, you're getting 8 shades in here, and it's very compact size, which is really nice. There was only one palette that I didn't get along with in this miniature format, and it was the Sugar Cookie one. But this one's good. The Sweet Peach mini one, and then the Hot Buttered Rum one was good as well. And they've come out with, I think I've already said this, but 4 of these for the holiday season, or at least they're currently available. And I'm glad I picked this one up because I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, it's a little bit of a rehash of colors I have, but this is a really nice look. And again, I really like the smell in here. I mentioned before, probably a while ago now, but like I love when eyeshadow palettes have scents to them. It just adds to the whole experience of putting on my eyeshadow. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that I picked this one up. So that's gonna be it for, what are we at now? Week 28. Right, week 28 of my Get Ready With Me's. I hope you enjoyed the talk through tutorial. Let me know if there's any like holiday makeup launches that you're interested in lately, because I feel like everything I'm looking at is just kind of like womp womp, like just not that interesting. So I want to get excited by what you guys are excited about, so let me know down below. And that's going to be it. Thanks for joining me, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.